Hello everyone. Long time between videos again, I know, but tonight I wanted to share a project that I just completed, and I want to try and give credit where credit is due. I took a couple of ideas that I had seen online, and one that I'll get to is that I believe it came from a blog called Following the Paper Trail, and I'll point that out when we get to it. So I made a little mini book, and this is the front, and this is the interior. And what I wanted to show you about this little book that I really liked was actually the binding. And why I like it so much is it's interactive. You can just pop things in and out, and you can make it yourself. So just to review how I made this book really quickly, the front and back cover are actually mini stretch canvases that I found at Big Lots, and they look like this. Friedrich's mini stretch 4x5, so it's actually on a wood. What I did then is I painted the canvas on all sides, and I have it lined with paper here, but I did paint it first with Champagne Mist shimmer paint from Stampin' Up, and I let it dry, and then I went over the canvas. Actually, then I used the So Swirly, I don't know if you can see that in there, So Swirly wheel. It's also a Stampin' Up product, and I wheeled the front and back cover. You can probably see the back cover a little bit better. Didn't come out fantastic, but and that's in Timber Brown Stays On. And then I went over the front of the canvas in 3 colors using a sponge, and it's really hard to hold this camera, but over here, this is Rich Razzleberry to Dusty Durango to Crushed Curry. Okay, so then I had my front and back, and then I cut a piece of cardstock for the front to 4 by 5 inches, and this is Dusty Durango. And I also made a little door so you could hide a little something in there, and I just poked a brad the opposite way to make my catch. And then about the binding, okay, this is chocolate chip cardstock, and it's cut the width that you want your project by 11 inches. And to get a total of 10 pockets, you need to have 2 strips. In my case, I cut it 4 inches by 11 inches. And then I scored this cardstock every ½ inch from the very beginning to the very end. And then I accordion folded it. And then I put 2 pockets together, and I punched a hole with my Crop-A-Dile, and I put a brad on either side. You can see the brads, and that creates a little pocket. And the pressure is enough, if you crease it, you know, enough that it holds your page in. Now, not to say that it won't fall out eventually, but I mean, they're in there pretty good. It takes 2 of those strips to get enough to make 10 pockets, because the very first and the very last, which, by the way, the first fold needs to be a valley, and then a mountain, and a valley, and a mountain, and so forth. I ended up with 1 extra little piece, which I just cut off. To get 10, you need to end them. And then, and I did that after I folded and punched it. And then the little pages are just very simple. They are cut at 3 inches wide by 4½ long. And then I went over them with, and they are the same 3 colors. They are Crushed Curry, Rich Razzleberry, and Dusty Durango cardstock. And then I went over them with a kind of glimmer mist type solution. I don't know if you can see, but they are pretty shiny. That I made in a spray bottle using the same champagne mist and some rubbing alcohol. And I shook it up and I sprayed the pages, and I got them pretty wet. I don't know if you can see the shine, but it is there. It's very sparkly. And then after I dried them with my heat gun, I took the same wheel, Timber Brown Stays On, and I did some random patterns with the wheel. You know, every page is a little bit different. And then I attached the binding to my front and back cover utilizing some sticky strip, and then decorated the front cover. I had some coordinating flowers. These happen to be Prima's. That is a chocolate chip corduroy button. And this butterfly I had left over from a wedding that I helped with. And it was so close in color to the rich razzleberry, I tucked it on there. So there you go. A little book, kind of a Meander book with a pretty interesting binding. Oh, see, one of my pages is coming out, but you can just tuck it right back in there. Made from Friedrich's mini stretch canvases. Pretty simple. I'm thinking about putting a class together to make some of these. I'm going to do another prototype tomorrow, and leave me a comment if you like it, because I'm considering putting a kit together. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Hope you created something today. Bye.